There's a lot of chatter around Mamdani.
Like, the people who are still there are people who were like...
Welcome back to The Exclusive Mindset. I'm Ashley Holland with Holland PR, and I'm here today with Nick Malinosky, and co-founder of the #1 real estate team in the state of Florida. Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Take one.
Next topic I want to get into is there's a lot of chatter around the, New York mayor race, and a lot of, I want to say like backlash, but also positivity around Mamdani. Typically, we're seeing a lot of reporters, calling out what it means for the real estate world. How much does politics play into the decision of a buyer or seller?
It plays a huge role. So the positive side, so let's just take this podcast back to what it is and what we're talking about, which is luxury real estate.
Right.
I haven't heard any positive side of anything.
Right.
And, New York is an incredible place, the best. I grew up in the Northeast, went to school in upstate New York. I mean, I love New York. My clients are my friends, my family, everybody. It's such a special place. But let's talk about luxury real estate. We have many clients, certainly, our partner Devin Kay down in Miami, many of the top hedge fund advisors, business people, they're already leaving.
And they have.
They have.
Yeah.
I think what's going on in New York is you're basically saying, all right, I've been dealing with some bad stuff, taxes, this, that, for the last, 4 to 6 years. They're kind of at the wit's end.
Yeah.
They're finally saying, you know what, I'm done. I'm not doing this again. Like, the people who are still there are people who were like, I'm not moving. Because they would have done it over, since COVID.
Right.
And they're just not, they're just over it. They're just like, look, like they're blatantly going after the wealthy and real estate and taxes. And it's just, I think they're just done. And the difference now from any other time, this goes for California as well, is prior to 2021, you didn't really have an option. If you were coming down to Florida, there wasn't an infrastructure for business.
Right.
Now there is.
Right.
You can work from anywhere in the world.
Right.
I sell a ton of real estate from New Yorkers, people from California that come down and say, okay, I need commercial real estate. I'm bringing my office down. We're moving our entire firm down. So this is just like literally kicking them as they go. I think it's a huge mistake. And, fortunately, I'm not living in New York right now.
No, and to go back to that, I did see a report somewhere that the high net worth individuals that have relocated to Florida, they have kept their residence in New York City for obvious reasons. Their businesses are still there, but they've established residency here for tax purposes. So although, people may be migrating, they are still keeping their residence in New York to obviously have that landing space. These high net worth individuals have, homes all over the place. Mm-hmm. So it's not to say that they have completely sold and moved out. They kept their residence, but they are establishing residency in Florida for tax purposes, some of which have moved their businesses down here. But New York will always stay true to that global hub of, top firms, huge investment companies. They're still going to be there. It's just a matter of, people at that 1% level, they're kind of tired of it. Totally.
And the taxes are one thing, which is huge. I mean, and the old conception is, we're going to go after the rich and tax the super wealthy. Well, they're not really paying taxes anyway. And I say that, I get it. They're paying millions and billions in taxes. But what I mean is they have different kinds of income. They've got property elsewhere. Like, they're smart. You're like, if you really go at them, they're going to leave. Like, they're just not going to do it. Right. Especially when Florida is like, please bring your business here. Like, we'll give you tax breaks. Like, bring your business here. So I just think it's starting to sound like in one place you're not welcome, and another place you are welcome. So why wouldn't you, migrate and move to those destinations that wants you?
Yeah, and San Francisco is another one that is definitely taking a very hard hit, real estate wise. A lot of people have been moving out. A lot of those technology companies have looked to relocate, and based on the numbers that I've seen, prices are significantly down there.
Yeah.
So,
and California also has, I mentioned this a few times. I would say over the last, since 2020, I started working with more buyers from California. Now it's like, 30% of my buyers, when it used to be like 90 plus New York. So they're just like, some of them still have to work there, especially in the tech.
Yeah.
But they're just flying back and forth.
Yeah.
And their main residence is here.
You're definitely seeing the real estate market there have a little bit of a hit. So that brings me into the next part of politics. Ron DeSantis, our amazing governor, he has proposed this, no property tax idea. And we were discussing this last night because there was a video of how he broke it down. So I want your opinion on, this idea that he has.
Yeah, I mean, the way the property tax works in Florida, let's just take Palm Beach County, for example. So if you buy, $1 million home, you're paying roughly 2% in taxes.
Right.
Okay, so, all right, no problem. You write the check, it's 20 grand and it's, it hurts. You bought $1 million home. Okay. The problem with that is every 12 months you have to do it again. So it's 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. The other problem is now, let's say over the last 10 years, your property's gone up 3 times. Okay. Now every year you're paying 60,000. Goes up again, 80,000. I mean, so for these generational properties, and yes, you have things like homestead and things like that keep it down. But the idea behind a tax every year that essentially keeps going up, and like DeSantis is saying, you never essentially own your home. So on the super high end, I know everybody says, well, they can just pay it. There are properties that have gone up. What was once 200,000 a year is now 8 or $1 million a year. That they're just paying. So that's the extreme wealth side of it. But the side that's even sort of more detrimental is for the fixed income, the retirees, and the people that don't have the extra money to just dish out on taxes. I mean, if when you come down to Florida and you retire, if you're paying $5,000 in taxes, and then all of a sudden 3 years later, it's $15,000, or you've owned it for 20 years and it's gone up 10 times, that's really not fair. And it's an every year thing.
Yeah, and the homestead, I mean,
it helps, but they still go up.
It's still going up.
It still goes up.
Ours just went up too, and
Totally.
It's pretty annoying.
Yeah, and then it's hard when you try to move properties too. Now, there are tools that limit it a little bit, but if you're in $1 million home and you buy, essentially in theory, and you buy a $4 million home, you went from $20,000 in taxes to $80,000.
Yeah.
And by the way, it could be in the same neighborhood in the same house. The price just changed.
Yeah.
So essentially, your obligation is going up based on what everyone else around you is doing.
On top of that, the insurance and...
Exactly. So that is a problem. It really makes it sort of just a wealthy, only the wealthier sort of can get by, because that middle or lower income level, you're really getting hammered by it. So I think, look, in my opinion, make it if it's 2%, make it a 5% tax. Just do it once. Don't do it every single year. If he can pull this off, which I hope he does,
it would benefit all of us.
Florida will just, if we thought we had it good now, forget it.
Yeah.
This will go crazy. But I think it is something that needs to be addressed. Forget about the wealthy, forget about the super high end for a minute, and focus on that middle to lower income sector, which is getting hammered by year after year taxes and property values going up. So I think I would love if he did that. That'd be amazing.
Well, that's a wrap on our Real Scoop. Tune in for next month's updates on our real estate shakeups.
Great.
If you like what you saw today, click the link and subscribe.